Hello, everyone. Welcome to part two of season three, episode 14 of Youth Empowerment Radio. I'm your host, Carmen, and today I'm continuing my conversation with MJ, a cybersecurity expert. If you haven't listened to episode 13 yet, that's where the first part of our conversation began. I highly recommend starting there. In this episode, MJ walks me through what happens when you delete something online. Does it actually get deleted? Where does it go? Things like that. We discuss secure versus non-secure messaging platforms, and we get into the weeds on what those data breach notifications that you get are and why they are worth paying attention to. Thank you all for your support. We hope you enjoy part two of this conversation.
Okay. Is Proton, is that similar to like Signal or
Yeah.
Telegram, or is it,
Yeah.
because I know those two are more for messaging. Does that go?
Yeah, different methodology, but it's the same technical principle of it's
Okay.
called end-to-end encryption.
Mm-hmm.
So with technical privacy, I like to say there are kind of like three different types of technical privacy. When we're sending a message to one another or doing things in digital, it's sometimes like a postcard where we write our message on it and to and from and send it through the internet, and everybody along the way can see the message and the to and the from. That's called in the clear. That's how like a text message and SMS is sent. Some of the earlier technologies started there because it takes the least amount of processing power to move it around. You don't have to do anything. You just write the message and send it off. That's how early websites, HTTP sites, were. Now they're mostly HTTPS, which is the next more secure type of digital communication, which is more like I write you a message, Carmen, and I put it in an envelope and I seal the envelope and I write to Carmen from Young June on the outside and I send it through the internet. And like all along the way, that's all it looks like to the internet is it's going to you and it's using, it's getting carried by an envelope carrier, let's say. And then when it gets to you, let's say it's an email, your email provider can open that envelope and you can open that envelope. Similarly, my email provider can open my sent folder and I can. So that's called encrypted in motion. So as it's moving along, it's not viewable. The message isn't viewable. But once it lands in the place where it's going, it's viewable by both the person and the company that's hosting it. Say as long as it's a company. And then the third type of security is the most secure that we have right now. It's called end-to-end encryption, and that's more like I have a message that I want to keep really private. I write it down and I put it in a safe and I spin the dial and I lock that safe. And I can store that safe with a company. And the company itself doesn't have the doesn't have the code to the safe. They're just in the business of storing safes. But I could share that safe code with somebody else. Like I could give you that code and then you can go to the company and say, I need that safe, and you can put the code in, which in practice is really just a password. But that's end-to-end encryption. And that's the most private we have. That it's actually private. And that's what Signal is like, except they don't even store the message. They're just helping us move lockboxes to each other.
Oh, okay.
Telegram is I think their model is they do store the lockboxes. And then with Proton, they store the lockboxes. And for Proton Mail, what's inside of a lockbox is an email. For Telegram and Signal, it's either a chat or a video call or a voice call or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Those visuals help a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun. Those are good ways to think about them. I want to go back a little bit to the start of our conversation around consent, and because I want to talk about consent and systems of care.
Yeah.
And kind of the reason I bring it up is we at Youth Move Colorado, we work with a lot of young people that are either in a system of care or have been in one before. And I'm talking about like foster care, juvenile justice, maybe enrolled in public benefits of a sort. And oftentimes they're asked just over and over again to just give really sensitive information. And there's a part of like some of this is just kind of required to make sure maybe you're eligible or to get into a certain programming because of a certain grant, things like that. But I'm also wondering if there are some really good questions that young people can ask these providers or these people supporting them around how their data or their information is being stored and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely, totally, and especially once you get into like systemic care
Yeah.
services, like this just kind of keeps going, right? And yeah, I think we see this like locally, we see it national, like federally, we see it internationally with international aid, I think, and so I do just want to offer like a couple of frameworks in case people
Yeah.
out there are like want to nerd out about if future nerds or current nerds want to think about data and making data services in more better ways. There are a couple of frameworks out there. One is called Responsible Data. You can see more
Okay.
info at responsibledata.io. And that comes to us. This framework comes to us from international aid work and humanitarian work, human rights defense. And it is exactly what you framed. It's
Okay.
like these organizations, like big organizations especially, need a lot of information, and it's always sensitive. In order to get access to humanitarian aid, you are in the middle of a crisis where the fact of who you are is both putting you in danger and then is going to get you access to service. So you have to share
Right.
it. And so that realization and like the ability to take care of people's data in that context, get good consent, have good privacy, security, give people the right to like remove their data if they need to. And then consentful tech, which we spoke about a little bit earlier, which comes more from like a North American activist media maker space with really the same values. It's like, and in these media making spaces too, like I was saying with social media or even like sharing videos and things, like we are in the practice of getting data from people in order to show them stuff that even we would want to do this. It's like help people see the stuff that we've made that we think they're gonna like, and maybe we would want to show them what decisions we're making for them and what decisions they can still make for themselves. But still, we're getting data, and so we want to be careful with it. Okay, so those are two frameworks. Just because I think like we just those are frameworks, and they're kind of like goal states for how we might engage with data or build database tools, but they still raise a lot of questions. I think that I think we should be able to ask whether or not our services and systems are able to answer them right now, or will be. Frankly, I think more in the community based service provision, we have more more agency again there to like make our own rules about how we gather data from the people that we're trying to serve and support, and make decisions about how long do we keep this data, and what data do we really need, what data can we get rid of right away after we submit it to see whatever service to get. So some things that folks can ask, I think it's always fair to ask how long the information you share is going to be used,
Okay.
whether it's absolutely necessary to share it. And I think it's also totally fair to say that like you have an online privacy concern, because we all have online privacy concerns. And if some, because people won't necessarily understand why you're asking it, because like as we're talking about this whole podcast, like people don't necessarily know why they should care about their data privacy. So anyway, so I think it's always okay to ask how long the info is going to get taken. If there's some info that isn't absolutely necessary. And again, people may or may not be able to answer that, but it's good to get those questions out into the air. When I'm asked to share something really sensitive, like a passport maybe, or like some bank info, and I have to share it digitally, like I can't go face to face and hand over a piece of paper, I sometimes create like a PDF of that and put it somewhere that I think is safe, usually in a lockbox technology, like maybe on a Proton. And then I give people a link to it to download it. And then I take it offline, so that I'm controlling as much as possible, like how this message was moved and the when of it, right? Like I'm going to take it offline. I know that person has a copy and they're going to do whatever, but I've taken off my copy. The absolute, I think, if you can manage to make a phone call instead of sending something digitally, That's also good. That also takes care of that agency question of when. If you have a phone call, it just happens that the one time you have that call, and if you have a person who can receive that call, then that's a good way to go about it. I try to really avoid using email, and I would recommend that to folks listening. The reason is because most email is sent like an envelope technology, right? So my email provider and the person who I'm sending it to stores a copy of that. So if I'm using Gmail and somebody's using, I don't know, just gonna Yahoo Mail as a joke. That means
Yahoo.
that means that both Yahoo, Google, and myself and the person I sent the information to have access to this really sensitive information. And that's like I don't want a corporation to have my most sensitive information. They don't need it. And I don't they don't have any reason to they don't have any way to take care of it, actually. Those
really?
In envelope technology, just like it's now in their service. Like they just think of it as another email, in the same way that if I sent an email that was just like a joke or a meme or something, like, they don't need it. So because they don't have a way to even take care of my most sensitive stuff, I wouldn't give it to them if I could manage. So that's not emailing. That's not attaching to an email. And then sometimes if it's not like a really vital service, if it's just I kind of need this right now, like if I'm joining like a wireless network or something, like a free Wi-Fi, and it asks me for some personal information before it shows me an ad to let me use it. Usually I'll put a fake email address in there, or a fake phone number, or a fake birth date, or whatever. So try and put in information that isn't your own, because there's no reason that every service online needs your actual information.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I wish there were better answers right now. I think like some organizations are really, I think another part of being responsible with data is that some organizations are actually pretty good about getting your sensitive information and then like not anonymizing it, but kind of like aggregating it. So saying like, oh, we had 200 people apply for this service, and after we received the information from them, we found that 150 were eligible based on these criteria. So instead coming up with a way of describing instead of individually is a way that these services can protect us a little bit better.
And protect us, yeah. What do you think about the question around what do you do with my information after I exit a program?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and I think they also may or may not like have a good response, and it has to do more with like how these, like the structure of who's at these services. If they have an IT department, and if they have or if they have a case manager who's like into digital privacy, then they're probably thought about it. It's not yet much of a requirement. I think like I think actually like some smaller units of us, like towns and cities, some of them do have more like requirements around service providers that are linked to like that municipality, around the data privacy requirements. It's certainly not uniform across the board. I love that. Yeah, I love this idea, like saying, "Hey, this is really sensitive for me. I totally understand why I'm sharing it right now, but I'm not always going to need to be like, I don't want to always have this information sort of like out there. Can you delete it? And what will it take to remind you?"
Right. Yeah. Well, this gets me thinking about kind of the last big topic I wanted to talk about, which was data breaches.
Yeah.
So because I've gotten these little email notifications that say something about your data has been compromised. To be honest, I never do anything with them.
Yeah.
Sometimes they look really scammy too. I don't know why. And I think that's what prompts me to not open them. sometimes.
Yeah. You know what looks really scammy? Have you gotten like class action suit emails?
Yes,
They look
yes.
the most scammy. I'm always like, should I click on this?
Yes, they
Um,
do. They
yeah.
do.
Yeah, what is a data breach email? What do I do with it? Or like,
Yeah.
what is a data breach letter in the mail? What do I do with it?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Well, can we start by doing an activity?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you pull up the site Have I Been Pawned? Pwned.com.
Yes. All right. I'm gonna share my screen.
Excellent. Thank
Can you
you.
see that okay?
Yes. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, now just punch an email in there. It could be one that you're using currently, but actually go with something that you wouldn't mind sharing on screen right now. So maybe an old one that doesn't have your name in it or something. Do you have one of those? Or if not, I can give
My
you one.
old one is from when I was 10 and I still use it. Let's see. I can do it. It's okay. Actually, I'll do my work one
Oh, perfect. Yes. Yes.
because then people can email me.
Hey. Okay.
There we go.
Oh my gosh. What a good example. So what this site is showing you and why it's throwing digital confetti is that your email was found in no breaches. This work email. That is awesome. And
Oh, hey, good job, Youth Move.
yeah. Let's
Should I try a different one?
yeah,
or-
let's try a different one. Do you have an info at Youth Move or something like that? I'm trying to think of one that would probably be in here.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think I want to. I'm not going to share my
No.
personal one.
Let
I
me
wish I
see.
could remember.
Let me see if our general one is in here. No. Maybe like stop sharing. I'll send you an email to put in there, and then you can scroll below it or something like that.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Good idea. Good idea.
Let me think of an old one. Okay. Here's an old email. I'll pop it in the chat for you.
Okay.
And yeah, because you can just load it up and then scroll down underneath it.
Copy. Oh, also 0.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 0 data breaches.
I'm seeing 2.
Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on 1 second. I think I did that wrong. I know what it's doing. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. Let me scroll down. Just really make sure. Okay.
Okay, so we have put in an email that I used a long time ago as an example to show you. So this is a site where you can put your email addresses in and see if it's been involved in a data breach. This one is showing 2 data breaches, and again, I used this a long time ago. So one data breach is from 2017 from a website called B2B USA Businesses, which is a spam list. That's not something I intentionally signed up for. That was something that was built with my data. And then the other one is a 2013 Adobe data breach. And you can see the site will also show you like what information was shared. The Adobe breach revealed email addresses, password hints, passwords and usernames. The other one I know revealed email addresses, employers, job titles, names, phone numbers, and physical addresses.
Wow.
Okay, so what happened? What a data breach is somebody attacked this company, Adobe, in the other case, B2B USA Businesses, for this information, for what they thought was valuable information. And then they take this valuable information, and the Adobe example says 153 million accounts were impacted. That information gets then sold. And you might have heard this term, the dark web. It's just the internet, but but it uses different listings, so it's not like www dot something. It has a different path to get to it, but it still is the internet. It's and people sell these bits of stolen data. And the reason they're valuable and the reason we should care is that number one, people are really bad at making unique passwords.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so if the like these thieves are guessing that if they take your username and password, they're going to be able to guess it on other platforms. If they manage to
Mm.
get your email, your username, and your password, that they might be able to log into your the screen's still up.
Oh, oh.
They might be able to use that to even log into your email, which is super valuable because from your email you can do all kinds of stuff like sign up for other things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's one thing is that like data breaches mean like the because data breaches are so common, it means that it's really important for us to have unique passwords on all of
Mm-hmm.
our accounts, and that's kind of a hassle to think about as a person, but there is software that can help us with it, and that it's definitely important for us to use that at this point. There's software called password managers. Have you ever used one of these?
No, but it makes me think about, when you go to make a new password and
Yes.
sometimes it prompts you with one that's like
Yeah.
preloaded.
Yeah.
Is that a fine one to use?
Yeah, it's yeah. I would. I I I think it depends on the site.
Okay.
I think I would have
Okay.
to say
Fair
because
enough.
yeah, because there's some places where that might be a scam.
Okay. Okay.
but
Oh,
but but probably not where you're signing up is my guess. And like they're trying to help us make a complicated, unique password that we haven't used somewhere else that isn't already in a data breach, that isn't already in a data breach linked to us, so that our accounts stay our own and people don't log in that are not us. But so with data breaches, there people have done research studies on the data breach data, and there's some people that are tracking the most commonly used passwords. There's even a Wikipedia page around this, and that maps from 2011 till today. The top two most common passwords. Sometimes number one is password. Sometimes number two is 1234566, and then sometimes it's the reverse. Like in 2011, it was the most common password is password, and the second most common is 1234566. And the next year, the most common is like 1234566, and the second most common is password. It's like since 2011, those are the two most common passwords
oh,
in
wow.
like millions of user accounts across many different services,
Wow.
which just indicates how bad we are at making unique passwords. And also, it's so funny to me. It's just like it's still. I just checked it again. Like for last week, I was checking up on what it looks like now, and it's still this.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Dang.
yeah. So we
Okay.
need to have unique passwords. We're probably not very good at making up passwords, so we should use the help of a piece of software. So password manager is basically a Rolodex for our passwords, and
Mm-hmm.
it stores them like a lockbox. So the company that's storing our passwords can't get in there and get all of our passwords. And the same way that if somebody tries to rob them of our passwords, they should only be able to get a lockbox and not be able to get into that lockbox.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to use those. They have like password generators in them now where they'll help us generate a complex password. They have plugins for browsers so that when you go to the site where you saved a password for, it'll automatically suggest that you use that one. So it is also helping us log in. And then we
Mm-hmm.
also really need to use multi-factor authentication because of data
Mm.
breaches. So that's when you log in, you put your username and password to a login page, and then it says, okay, we sent you a second code.
Mm-hmm.
Please go find it. It's in your it's in your inbox. It's a text message, wherever. It's on your
Mm-hmm.
authenticator app, and then please enter that. And so you have to enter that. That's a multi-factor or two-factor authentication. We first called it two-factor because you need two factors to log in.
Yeah.
One factor is your password, something you know, and then the second factor is something you have, so something you receive.
Mm-hmm.
As long as that's on, it doesn't matter if somebody can guess your password, sort of. um, they couldn't get in without your multi-factor your code.
Yeah.
Other things that we should care about, sometimes if you're a person who has like a credit card or is like making purchases on shopping sites, if your credit cards are shared through these data breaches, you want to get a new credit card number.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
just get a new one sent. And even I've definitely seen people get notifications that there's like a big purchase that's made in their name, and it's just that some of their information was sold in a way that allowed one person to make a big purchase and then it sort of went back into non-use. But that happens through data breaches.
So when, like, you know how we plugged that email into that website and you saw there were 2 data breaches, like what should you do? Do you just like change all your passwords? Do you like call someone?
Yeah.
Or like what
Yeah.
can you do?
The first thing is change passwords.
Yeah.
Definitely change the
Okay.
password to that site, and then anywhere you've reused to that password,
Okay.
will make it unique on those other accounts. And turn on multi-factor, so just like lock the door to your account.
Okay.
Basically. The next thing is try to assess like how much could have been done with that information. Again, like if
Okay.
you see a credit card listed in the stuff that was accessed, or like your social security number.
I see. Okay.
Double check your financial institutions. You can add like extra warnings to your, or like extra security layers to your financial accounts. Sometimes those breaches will come with some like credit monitoring services, so I accept those. Usually that will run for about a year. Yeah, that's about. Those are generally the steps that we do.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Well, we're coming to a close, which is sad for me. But I do have a couple more just kind of wrap up questions I wanted to ask you and kind of get your opinion on. But yeah, if you could leave young people with the top 3 things to think about next time they're online, what would they be?
Yeah. Okay, the first one is that the internet is a baby. It's like really new. Like it probably got here before a young person was born, but it got here when I was growing up. And like it's only about, we only got internet that works well on mobile phones and mobile phones that can load the internet in like the early 2000s. So that's like only 20 years of smart-ish to then smartphones. So we like so many more things can happen with the internet than are happening right now. Like talking about social media, it's not great. It's not the way that it doesn't actually meet like the possibilities of the internet. Like I think I would love to let people know that like the internet is awesome. Like it like really represents this really, really cool opportunity to communicate with people we'd never meet, to like learn about stuff that we have no idea we didn't know, instead of just confirming stuff that we hate and love. Like it really is like, quite an opportunity to like live, like possibly live more deeply and communicate with more people. So like I think I would recommend looking for ways that people are doing that. Think about making your own site, so that you own your material, so that it doesn't then end up the property of a social media company. And then also like, so that might be our 3 already. But the other thing that I wanted to say is it's not just the internet and like stuff we share on the internet that we could have more control and autonomy over. It's actually the like networks themselves, and people are playing around with these. People listening might even have played around with like mesh networks. The idea of a mesh network is that you and people near you can create a network together that you and every node, like you can imagine it's a little bit like using walkie-talkies in a neighborhood or something. Like you and everybody with a walkie can talk to each other, and then you can turn them off.
Cool.
But with mesh networks, like you can turn on your nodes and like talk to, like have information that everybody can access. That you can decide if you connect it to the wider internet or not. That is like, there's a tool called Meshtastic that's out there. I think it's about $100 a node. I would like really, really recommend to young people to play around with, as like just thinking about like dreaming about the amount of autonomy you might have with this really cool technology. This like that like let's like, and what it would be like to take agency over your communication and to think about the when of it and the potentials of the who you might connect with if you use this technology with the autonomy that you deserve.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I'm sure folks are gonna want to know how to keep in touch with what you're doing.
Yeah.
What's the best way that they can do that?
Let's see, Tiny Gigantic's website is tinygigantic.io. If
Okay.
you want to reach out to me or to us directly, there's an email on that site, just hello@tinygigantic.io. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Alrighty. We'll put that in the show notes as well.
Cool.
Yeah. And then finally, one of my favorite questions.
Oh, yeah.
But what are 3 books that you would recommend?
That's such a good question.
I stole it from Ezra Klein, actually. His podcast. He does that at the end, and I love it.
So good. Okay, since it's Pride Month, I have
Yes.
three Pride reads.
All right.
And they're all like oral. They all come from like oral histories from queer people.
Oh,
Okay.
very cool.
The first one is Making Gay History, which is also a podcast by this journalist named Eric Marcus. He's been like he was a radio broadcast journalist, and so he has all these amazing audio interviews with queer activists from like, I think his archive starts in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna look that up. Wow.
Yeah, like there are a few interviews with Sylvia Rivera,
Okay.
which is they're so fun.
Wow.
And then other people but it's like a really awesome place to go hear some like firsthand stories. And it's really inspiring. He framed like, I think he must be a really nice guy because people are really nice to him and like and show their warmest sides when they're talking to him. So they all feel kind of heartwarming, even though sometimes
Aw.
people have gone through some hard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are a couple of other collections, Fairy Tales for Lost Children by Deriye Osman, and these are young gay and lesbian Somali stories. The author's Somali. It's awesome. It's really beautiful. And then the third one is an anthology from Nigerian women, and it's called She Called Me Woman: Nigeria's Queer Women Speak. And a friend who also does digital security work was one of the editors on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's awesome.
That's a fun connection.
I know, right? It's so cool. And that was edited by Azina Mohammed, Chitra Nagarajan, and Aisha Salel.
Oh, wonderful. Those sound like really good reads.
They're all great. Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for being here and your passion and the work that you do and all your expertise. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having me, Carmen.